So let me share my screen and we start our session, today's session. So just a simple question. I want to make sure all of you naona screen yangu. So please kindly just confirm that. Hata kama niko chat, just say that I can see your screen. So right now, just kindly confirm if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? I'm just presenting right now. Just confirm, please. Okay, so I see Tobias ananiambia naona. So that's fine. So I just hope even for the others you can see the screen. So nataka nitengeneze kila kitu from scratch, everything from scratch. So let me first of all delete some things here. So even before we start, maybe I can just try to explain how maybe PHP works. In PHP, not PHP, Laravel. Sorry for that. Let me just open just a very simple sheet here, spreadsheet. So in PHP, so today we are learning both theory, practical, everything. So just be prepared. Today we are going to do something. So PHP is just an MVC. Inakuanga MVC, Laravel, it's just MVC. It works based on MVC. It is like if you're building an application using Laravel, we are building it using, it's like we are building an MVC application. MVC inamaanisha, M inamaanisha model, then V inamaanisha view. V inamaanisha view. Then we have C stand for control. These are things that we're going to see. We are going to make controllers, we are going to make views, we are going to make models, all those things. We are going to connect to DB, we are going to make a basic login, register. Kuna mtu alikuwa ananiambia login register sijui nini. We just see how it is simple using a framework. So a model, ukisikia tu mahali model, just think of data. And if you're a developer, you know when we talk about data, we're just dealing with the database. So model will allow you to do some queries, maybe to fetch data from, to connect it will just connect you to the DB so that you can get some data. So then the view is just the user interface. When you see a view, just the user interface. Nikikwambia I have an application that I've just built, what you're seeing, that interface is just the view. The controller now, it is the one that will be handling the request, the requests that are coming from the view. If you want to make a query, just make it in the controller while calling the view there. So Laravel is based on MVC, model view controller. All this you're going to see. Now I start by, so first of all we shall start by installing Laravel. So for you to install Laravel, so I hope you remember venye tulifanya. So uh, I'm used to working with Oracle database and Postgres. So but today I'll be using MySQL because of you people. So let me use MySQL because I know you can be able to access it using the xampp. So let me open my xampp. Is it xampp or xampp? So whatever. Let me open it. So oh my god, I hope, just hope it's fine. Because if it's not fine, yeah, I think it's fine. So if you want to open your DB, this is MySQL. This is the server, the Apache. Is it Apache or Apache? Whatever. This one is the server. Then you have MySQL. This is our DB. So if you click here, you just move to your database. So this is the database. So First of all, let us install a Laravel in our local machine. So what you will do, remember, when you have XAMPP, all the projects that you are doing, you need to have them in your htdocs folder. So I just navigate to the htdocs folder. So mine is in local D. Then you go to, this is my folder XAMPP, then htdocs. So I will go to where I want to place my project. So I have a folder called PHP sessions. Then this is where I want to install a Laravel app. So I just open. So I'm using Git bash. You can use CMD, anything that you want. If you want to open CMD here, you just do the CMD, then you enter. Fungulia CMD. Then so I like using Git bash. So I have Git bash installed in my machine. So if you want to use Git bash, you need to install it. You can just Google Git bash, then install it. So installation is just simple. You just click next, next, next. Then so if you want to use CMD, you can just, the way I've done, you can use CMD. So if you want to use so I'm using Git bash. So I use Git bash here. Let me click there. So make sure that you are in this path. So mine is in local D, a folder called XAMPP. Then inside my htdocs, then I have created a folder called PHP session. Then now I want to install my Laravel application here. So what I do, just a minute, somebody. So now what I will do, I will just install my Laravel application here. So remember, you need to have installed Composer. If you don't have Composer, you will do nothing. So you need to install Composer. So I have so even I know you have Composer already installed, because I told you to install the xampp, and also for you to use the xampp, I think we, we were using Composer, just a PHP dependency. So this is the command. So all these things are there in Laravel documentation. So I just, even if you just Google Laravel documentation, you just see this command. So you don't need just a TUZ cram, no, they are there. So I will just say Composer. So now I'm installing Laravel. We need to install Laravel in htdocs. So let me write that command. So composer create project Laravel slash Laravel. So up there, that is the command. Now, what now I'm going to write is the folder that is going to store that application. So now this is a Laravel project. So I'll just call it. Let me see, Laravel project. How can I tell it? I just call it Laravel dash lesson. So now I'm expecting, after this installation is complete, if I come to htdocs folder, then I go into PHP sessions, I'm going to find another folder called Laravel lesson. That is where my my Laravel is gonna be installed. So I just click enter. So it is just going to take some time. So acha sasa iendelee kuinstall ikiwa peke yake. So it's just going to take some time, maybe 5 minutes, I don't know. It just depend on maybe the internet connection. So let it install. So is there any question up to there? Nataka tuendanishe pamoja, sitaki kuacha mtu, step by step. So as it is installing, maybe sijui itaenda kutake time inakaaje, but I know haitapitisha maybe 5 minutes. So maybe as the Laravel installation is just continuing, so what you are going to do is just install. I think you are umeuliza swali general. Excuse me, I can't understand you. So kindly George, unaweza clarify. Just unmute your mic and talk. George Mongi. Just maybe. Okay, the installation process. If you want to install Laravel, this is the command. So kuna watu so now tutakuwa tunatumia sasa terminal the command of the CMD mostly. So now we are just installing Laravel. For you to install Laravel lazima ukuwe kwa internet connection. So right now nimewaambia ita take some time. So that's what we are just waiting for it to install. So you need to do composer create project Laravel. So Laravel lesson, that is the folder or the name of our project. So I hope I'm somehow clear. So if you want to see all this, unaweza kuja hapa. If you want to see all this, you can just search for Laravel documentation. So this is, you can get all the guidance that you need here. So for if you want installation, unakuja hapa unaangalia hiyo command. I think where is it? Oh, this like a tutorial, inakuelezea kila kitu. It's just like a tutorial, unaweza ifollow vizuri. So you see, this is the command. Unaweza fanya composer create project Laravel, unasema isa ndo the name of your folder. Then kama umeinstall Laravel installer, kuna kuanga right now I think sija install Laravel installer. So kama unataka kuinstall kwanza Laravel installer, this one you use this command install Laravel installer. So ukitaka sasa kuinstall hiyo command itakuwa a little bit short. You just say Laravel new, unaandika chenye unataka project yako, Laravel new, unaandika chenye unataka. So this is the whole documentation. All this, if you come here ufollow pole pole, this is just a good guide for those people who are starting, and also for those, even for those who have experience. So unaweza kuja hapa, you see installation, installing your first project, configuration, kuja architecture, basic, debugging, security, mambo na database, error control, RM, testing, packages. Then if you are dealing with API, we have an API documentation. So I hope hiyo itakaa sana. But tunagoja tu. So I wanted to do everything. Sikuwa nataka ati nikuje kaa nimeinstall Laravel hapa ati juu ita take time, because I know most of you mtaanza. So I want you to see everything from scratch, kila kitu. Let's just hope ita take sometimes. Hata kama ita take sometimes, I think 10 minutes will be enough. So kuna Tobias anauliza, sorry, acha nisome. So I hope kuna George Mongi, I hope nimekuwa clear with the Laravel installation. So you can just confirm there. So sitaki kuacha mtu. So it's not a must you chat. Just unmute your mic and talk. Hakuna mtu anakuuliza. This is just an interactive session. Okay, George, thank you. Then I need to read some. Tobias Poch anasema composer create project / Laravel 1. So no. So maybe let me just paste this command here yenye natumia. I just paste this one yenye mnaona. Let me paste this one. Where is it? It is composer create Laravel slash Laravel, then your project name. Where was it? Niliona wapi? So I want just to paste it. Maybe there are some errors. Maybe naweza enda kupaste ni paste niandike something. Sorry. Exactly. Iko hata imemalizia. I thought itakaa. So today is an interactive session. Chat. Ukiona yako sijaisoma, maybe imenipita, just talk. Even see, it is not a must that you chat. Just even talk. So this is the command. So composer create project Laravel, then name of project. Unaandika hiyo name of project. If you're doing maybe a restaurant review project, you can say composer create project Laravel restaurant review. Hivyo. So that's the nini. Then kuna Mary Nyambua, may you repeat the installation process please? Nitarudia. We are using the same Git for GitHub. So the Git that I'm using is the one used for GitHub. Then we have Tobias tena anasema tuandikie hiyo command hapa please. So nimeiweka. Emmanuel, sijaelewa bado. I think you need to do some clarification. So don't generalize your question, just clarify it. So it's like sijaelewa bado. Please do the recording of if possible for later confirmation. I just try on that. Okay. Now I think nimesoma most of your chat. Maybe so the installation process, you see that command yenye nimekuambia hapo. There's that command, the one that I've pasted there. That command, make sure first of all you navigate. Navigate ni kwenda kwa folder. So remember you have already installed your xampp. So inside your xampp folder, I told you that everything in a project that you're going to do, you need to put it inside your htdocs. So inside your htdocs, you need to open that. Ukikuja hapa, you need to open here. Kama unatumia git bash, open this way. If you're using cmd, you can either unaweza fungua cmd unavigate hadi hapa. Kuna watu navigating hadi hapa using cmd, or you can just say cmd then enter, itakufungulia cmd hapo. Then ukiopen hiyo terminal ni either cmd this git bash, kuna ingine sijui inaitangwa win-cw. So ensure that this path inakuonyesha mahali uko kwa hiyo folder. Kama mimi niko kwa xampp htdoc php session, that's where I am. So now if you run that command, you see this is the installation for Laravel. So nilikuwa hapo ndo nikakuja nikarun hii command. So this is the name of my project, or the folder that I'm expecting to be created in my directory where I am currently under PHP session folder. So when I run this, inaniambia sahi you are installing Laravel. Hii ni Laravel 8.5.15. So that's the version, the current version. So these are just installation imekuja hadi imecomplete. So now if I go to my PHP session folder, nitapata my Laravel lesson folder. So that's why nimekuja hapa. Kiangalia hapa niko kwa xampp htdoc php session, the same path that I'm here, xampp htdoc php sessions. So if I come here, you see this is now the Laravel installation yenye nimefanya saa hii. So I hope now the Laravel installation is clear to everybody. I hope it's clear to everybody. Please, I hope it's clear. Okay, so sijaona any other text. If there is any question concerning Laravel installation, I hope Oh my god. Deno nimesema watu wasigeneralize question. So yako highlight nini? Ati download problem. So ukifanya hivi inakuambia download problem, maybe it's your internet connection or something, but wacha kwanza tuendelee. If that's an issue that we need to look at, tutaiangalia baadaye. Kwanza wacha tuendelee. So if so hiyo ni kitu maybe utashare screen nione. So for that, let's do it later, please. So let's continue. Now we have done our Laravel installation. Composer downloader transporter exemption. Maybe that's something to do with the composer. We shall check on that. So now let's continue. Now we have done a Laravel installation and now it's complete. Now we have our Laravel project set in our local machine. So what's next? So now we need to do something. So we need to do now to we need to now our next step. Remember tulikuwa tumesema kwanza tuna install we are doing Laravel installation, so that's clear now. I hope everybody now is fine. Now let's first of all check tufungue sasa hii folder. We need to open this folder. We start checking maybe where do we connect to the database, where are the controllers, where are the routes, where are the models. So now we need to navigate that. So now this is our project, you can see it here. So I think I need nitapush hii stuff kwa GitHub kila mtu akuwe naiona. I think I need to do that. So now we have our project. So we have opened our project. So let's just navigate tukielezea. So we have, if you need to connect to the database, you need to use this file called the .env file. The .env file will be used for database connection. That's why utakuja fanya db configuration if you are using XAMPP. But even if you're using Postgres, you need to come here. Lazima visit this thing. So now here, this is the file for database connection. You see here. So right now we are using MySQL DB. Your DB connection iko poa. DB host, the one that you're using, we are just using the default port for XAMPP. Inakuanga 127/0.0.1. Then our port 3306, that's fine. DB database, tukienda to create database tuite Laravel session, tutakuja hapa to change hii jina Laravel, tutaweka our database name. Then DB username by default kama uja change kwa XAMPP inakuanga root. Then DB password I think inakuanga empty. Yeah, it's just empty kama huja change. So that's what we are going to do now. So that's for database connection. So watu wenye wanatumianga, for those people who are just using Postgres or Oracle, you need, if you're using that, lazima visit somewhere here, database, not here. Oh yeah, configuration, config. You come, there is this file called database. Now utakuja huku change uandike Oracle ama Postgres, you need to come do some configuration huku PGSQL. This is for Postgres configuration. We also have for Oracle. Where is Oracle? I don't know if it's Oracle, but you can change also the configuration for Oracle. You can come here. So database.php is for database configuration. Even the .env is also for database configuration. So that's for database configuration. Then let's move on. So I just check kama kuna question. Wow, no question. That means that everybody is fine. So let's continue. So now let's go back to our, so now mambo na DB connection nimewaonyesha kwenye unastahili kuconfigure, but for MySQL tunakuja tu kwa .env file tuna configure everything there, so hatutashinda tukienda kwa config. Now the other thing, kuna kitu nimewaambia inaitwa views. Views ni kama it's like the user interface. The user interface tunaitengenezana tukitumia pure PHP. What I can refer there to a view is just a file that has .html file. Hiyo file ndio inakuonyesha the user interface. User interface is what the user anaona na ana interact na. I hope you know that. So for us to create our views, tutakuwa tunakuja kwa resources folder, then we have the views folder. Now this is where tutakuwa tunaweka our views folder. And when creating a view, tutakuwa tunaweka extension ya .blade.php. Sasa tutakuwa tunaweka kama ni maybe index. Kwa PHP tulikuwa tuna hizo HTML file tulikuwa tunaziweka index.html. Now hapa tutakuwa tunasema index.blade.php. That's the extension tutakuwa tunatumia hapa. Then that's for the views. Remember the MVC, we are strictly there. So views nimeonyesha maandiko MVC. Now let's go to M and C. We see M is for model. Then when you think of model, think of data. When you think of controller, think of request response. So for you to see the controllers, you need to come here kwa app, unafungua app. If you want to see the models, we have a folder called models, but if you go back, I think kwa version 6 and 5 huko nyuma hawakuwa wanaziweka kwa folder. Yani hawakuwa wanaziweka kwa folder models ati unapata folder. No, they were just here. But version 8 wameweka model. So if you create a model itakuja hapa. Right now we have a default model ya user. So extensions of model ni user.php. It's just a .php file. So that's where the model is from. Then if you want to see the controllers, utakuja kwa http, then go to controllers. This is where to place all our controllers. I hope that's clear. The MVC nimewa explain here. M stand for data. So then C, controller, just think of request. Views, just think of user interface. So that's the structure of the application of the Laravel application, which is based on MVC. And we have seen where the M is, where the V is, and where the C is. So I hope that's clear. Sorry. Then we need to go to there's another folder that tutashinda tukivisit sana, where we shall be creating our route. So ukikuja visit any website kama hii unaona wameandika localhost/phpMyAdmin, that's the route. Walikuja wakasema hii tutaita phpMyAdmin. Ama ukikuja kama ni kwa hii ya Laravel wamesema laravel.com/docs/8.x/installation, all those. Sasa hizi ndizo route mali tutakuwa nakwambia andika hii route, utaona a certain page. So all those routes zitapatikana hapa. All those routes zitapatikana hapa under routes folder. Then unaweza create another one yenye unataka, but by default this one web.php, hiyo ndio iko na routes. It has all the routes. So kama hii iko na route ya welcome, return view welcome. Yeah, I think kuna viko hapo imekuwa returned by this route. So tutaingia hapo polepole. So easy ghost, hii kitu si ghost, just focus on it. Nikienda hapo alafu uende sasa wewe mwenyewe revisit na computer yako, just see very simple things. So now our next step is to connect. Tunataka sasa to connect na DB. So let's create a DB here. So tuko hapa. So let me first of all check kama kuna swali. Please repeat your part. Part gani? Which part please? Maybe unaweza paste hiyo nini haraka hapo. Which part? I do it now before I proceed. Just I'm waiting for your text. Cynthia Arubia. Please kindly can just paste what you want me to repeat. I do it now. Hapo kwa folder. Let me just do a quick revisit of what I've just said. So this is just the Laravel structure. So nimesema the controllers Ukitaka kucreate controller inakujanga hapa kwa http, unaenda kwa app http then a folder called controller, then the models are found under the models folder under the app models, then the views are found under resources, are found under sorry, are found under resources. You see resources, then views. So the route folder is just here. So hii route iko na routes. So now I want us to do a DB connection, a database connection. Kuna watu wamekuwa wakiniambia DB connection imekataa na imekataa na imekataa. So you can do it here and we see venye inakataa. So now let's create a database. So this is my SQL. So if you want to create a new DB, unaweza tumia SQL command. Unakuja hapo unaandika create database blah blah blah, ina create automatic. Or you can just be somehow lazy and use the user interface. So tunataka tukuwe na DB yetu tuite Laravel section. Laravel section, that's our DB. Then you just click the create button. So if you come here on the left bar, tunasaidi tuione. So we have Laravel session. So now kama unataka kuconnect your DB, your Laravel app to DB using this is for MySQL, nimewambia tu tuna visit the .env file peke yake. So that's what we are going to do now. Let's go to our .env file. Remember our .env file ilikuwa tu pale, ukifungua ile folder ilikuwa hapa, this the .env file. So this has your configuration. So this is the part that you're going to configure. So DB connection in MySQL, see Postgres and Oracle. DB host in 127.0. Yeah, that's good by default port here. But this one, database name is Laravel sessions, like that. I hope hizo zingine zinakuanga yangu, I think sijafanya any change. DB username I think ni root na by default, and DB password I think ni empty by default. Kuna mtu ame-enable mic yake, maybe kama anataka kusema kitu, you can say something. I think I've had Daniel, maybe if you have any question, you can ask. If you have any question, please. Okay, I think so. Now we have done our DB connection. So I want to show you something now. So speaking in Laravel, it is not a must. If you unataka kutengeneza tables for DB, your database table, unaweza kuja hapo useme create, sijui unaweka table name nini, you can do that. Unaweza fanyia hiyo hapa kwa PHP MyAdmin. But in Laravel, the good thing is we have something called migration, database migration. So you just create your migration. So ukitaka sasa kutengeneza hizo table, utaandika code kwa hizo migration files. Then after kutengeneza hizo nini kwa migration files, you just run a command yenye itakuja ikucreate hapa kwa DB. So we can just visit hizo migration tuziangalie. Wacha ni open hii folder hapa sasa, hiyo folder yote, so sitakuwa nikirudi huko. So just let me open that folder here, don't save. So this is my folder yenye nimefungua hapa sasa. So if you come to database, kuna hii file inaitwa database, kuna migrations. Let me expand this right now. Laravel huanga inakucreatea user table by default, so that's why you saw even kuna model inaitwa user na imekucreatea hii user table. So let's open this user table. users table, this is a migration. This is a migration file for our users table. Instead of coming ati tukuje hapa tutengeneze table, tukuje hapa kwa hii interface tutengeneze ya table inaitwa users, tutengeneze then tuanze kuweka column the way we are doing. No, in Laravel we don't do that. But if you want to do that, utaki kutumia migration, haina shida, you can do that, but let's use migration. So utakuja hapa, if you create a migration, for instance, if you want to create a migration, unaweza sema php anything here, utakuwa unasema php artisan make, unataka ku make a model, maybe this is just an example. Nimewambia kuna model, you can create a model together with its migration. So unaweka hiyo flag .m. If I run that, sorry. So we are, remember to tujitengeneza our project under the login, under the Laravel session. Was it called Laravel session? Hiyo folder, this one, Laravel session. So in our command line we need to cd, we need to change our directory. We move to that directory. Remember sasa hapa tuko kwa path ya php session. php session hakuna any artisan command yenye inaweza run. So artisan command ita run under a folder for Laravel. So we need to do a cd Laravel dash session. Is it session or sessions? Session. Oh my god, nimeandikwaje? Oh, lesson. Okay. It is cd Laravel lesson. That way. Right now you can see here we are under Laravel lesson. So under this, let us make a model. Just ukisikia tu Laravel, think of MVC. So we want to create a model. For example, for instance, by default nimewambia Laravel inakucreatea model na inakucreatea migration ya users. So this is the migration for users. For example, if tunataka maybe tuko na another migration yenye itatengeneza table ya clients, tutasema php artisan make a full column model client. We have that flag kutengenezea migration. So hii command moja itatengeneza model. Good to start with capital letter na itatengenezea migration. So model created successfully. Na hata kuna create client table, hiyo ndio migration. So nikikuja kuvisit hapa utaona kuna another migration yenye imejiongezea hapa, iko hapo. So that's client table migration. Then ukienda pale niwaambia models ziko kwa ile folder inaitwa models, utaona kuna another model ya client. So kuna hiyo na kuna hiyo. So let us continue. Maybe we want to just create a table hii ya client, maybe ikuwe na name na ikuwe na first name na second name ama last name. So we just do this. So unaweka dollar table, that arrow, then you say how do we do this? Let me just refer here. Tunaandikanga string. So you have your data type here, string. You say maybe this is the first underscore name. Then we terminate. When you do that, we want now to have the last name, that one. So now I'm expecting nikienda ni run migration, na expect since I have 4 migration ya users table, password table, hizi ziko by default, alafu niko na ya class table So hii sasa nimeonyesha ku create a table using migration. So hizi zingine zote zilikuja by default, so let's just focus on this. So we are expecting, instead of coming ati tukuje hapa kwa hii user interface tutengeneze a table called client, tuandike hapo client, then we continue. So we want to, just a minute, I hope I'm still connected kwa phone yangu isikuwa inajiongelesha. Okay, so instead of creating a table called maybe client, alafu tuende sijui next step tuende tuanze kutengeneza hizo field, you just do this for migration. So a migration will cater for that. It will create all the tables that you want, all the relationship that you want for the tables. So now we want to execute this migration. Tutafanya aje? Hii migration ndio itatuambia kwanza kama tuko connected kwa DB. Kama hatuko connected kwa our database, this migration will not run. So if you want to run your migration, unakuja kuandika php artisan migrate that, and so hii inasema, so we have, yeah, kuna error inasema invest unknown database Laravel sessions, inatuambia itambui hiyo database. Let's go to our configuration again, tuangalie whether our configuration ziko fine. So we go to .env, inajiita Laravel sessions, so we need to confirm whether our DB has the same name here, Laravel session. So hii haina s, so tutoe hii s yenye iko hapa, and then we try to run it again. Let's do php artisan migrate, and wow, it has run successfully. You see, tulikuwa na hiyo ya users, ya passwords, ya failed jobs na ya clients. So we are just focusing on this ya clients. You see how simple in PHP in Laravel. Si lazima uende kwa DB huko ndani uanze kutengeneza table, do this and this. No, you can use migration, or even the other way is just fine. So let's come here. So initially hapa hatuna table hata moja, so we need just to do a refresh. So let's do okay. You see we have our table, we have our class table and tumetengeneza failed job migrations. Migrations zinakuja by default, then users table. So if you come to our class table, utaona hiyo class table iko na first name na last name, then this one, hizi ni kama za audit. When you created that, if you create a certain record kwa your app, itakwambia at what time your field created that, hiyo ni ya time, then updated that ni ya time, then id just for auto increment. So that's how simple we connect our Laravel app to our database. Then that's how we use migration. Migration lazima uende kwa database folder, then kuna migration folder, then that's where you create migration. For you to create a migration, you need to use this command. Hii command yenye kwa php artisan make model. Let me just check. So please, maybe I think tunaweza unmute mic, please you can unmute your mic juu unaweza andika hapa text na sitaiona for sure, useme nimekuignore. So please just unmute your mic, just unani interact tu, nikiendelea tu hivyo tu, just ongea tu, unmute your mic uongee, haina shida. That's the way to go. It's like you are raising up your hand, because ukiandika hapa text nitasahau. So pardon kwa migration. So nimesema migration, we just it's just a simple way. Laravel inakuprovidea migration for you to create your tables. If you want to create a table, for example, sisi tulikuwa tunataka to create a table inaitwa clients. Instead of kukuja huku kwa php.admin, tukuje kwa our database, tuseme tunataka ku create a table. Mtu anaendanga wapi hapa, tuseme unataka ku create a table, tuite hiyo table at clients, then to click hapa, to click go, then tuanze kuandika hizo column. Field ya kwanza ni first name, field ya pili ni second name tukisemanga sijui length na nini. Laravel inakuprovidea a way ya kutengeneza those tables. You can you can uh, you can uh, you can create those tables inside your migration. If you can just create a migration, then define all the fields that you want, then run that migration. How do you create a migration? If you want to create a migration, use the command php artisan make full colon model. First of all, we want to create a model and a migration. So each migration has its own model, or each table iko na model yake. So kama kuna users table, we are expecting to have a user model. So each table in your database inakuanga na model yake. If you want to use it, lazima kuna model yake so that you can use it in your app. That is when you are using Eloquent. So that's a little bit more advanced. Because kuna watu wengine wanatumianga si Eloquent, sikumbuki inaitangwa aje. You can there is a way you can enda kwa controller yako uaccess bila kutumia model. So if you want to create maybe you want to create a model and a migration, you just say php design make model then the name of that model is client, and then if you run it that way ita run but itakumekia tu model peke yake. But if you want a model and a migration, just say /m and you end. You just create a migration. Remember all these command lazima tuzifanye ndani ya our Laravel app, ndani yake. So in your terminal, make sure that you are in that path. So that's how we make a model, a migration. Then if you want to make a controller, for instance, niseme nataka kutengeneza, let's make clear this. So niseme nataka kutengeneza a controller. A controller pia inakuanga na command yake. Unasema tu just php artisan make full colon controller, then the name of your controller. Kasa hii tunataka ya client, tuseme client controller. If I run this command, nikienda kwa folder ya controllers, nastahili nipate a controller by the name client controller. So if I enter this one, iniambie controller created successful. If I go to my app, this is my app, then I go to http, I go to controllers, nastahili nione client controller, so iko hapo. So that's how we make a model. That's how we make a controller. Then if you want to make a view haina mambo mingi. You can create it ukitumia command line, or unaweza kuja tu hapa under resources. Remember iko under resources, lazima uweke hapa under resources view. Unakuja tu hapa, una right click, so unasema new, unasema client, tunataka kutengeneza blade ya client dot, lazima ikuwe na blade.php extension, then you enter. That's your blade. So basically nimeonyesha mahali nimeambia the structure of our Laravel it's just MVC. Nimeonyesha the location of M, the location of V, the location of controllers. Nimeonyesha vile unaweza tengeneza model. Nimeonyesha vile unaweza tengeneza the way you can create a controller, the way you can create a model, and also the way you can create something called views. Now that's just the basic. So don't worry, hizi vitu mtazipata. So I know maybe right now you could be floating, but as we continue utaona. Controller making, just unaandika tu command php artisan make controller, sema client logs single. Okay, so if you want to create a controller, this is the command. So for instance, I can create another another control. So let's say I want to create a controller for maybe for a student control. Nakuja hapa nasema PHP lazima, this is Laravel is just an artisan. Ukikuwa Laravel developer utakuwa unasikia fellow artisan. So PHP artisan ina work magic. So you do PHP artisan, make, you say full column, then you say controller. That's the keyword, lazima hizo zikuwe, then the name of your controller. Hii inaitwa student controller, that way. So if I say yes, nikienda sasa under my controllers folder, I will just find another controller for my student. So under HTTP, so it is under app HTTP, then controllers, I have student controller. So this is the command yenye unastahili urun. So that's the command. So now the MVC part is fully covered. That's the introduction, the basic introduction. So now the next step is just the next step on MVC. That was just a basic introduction. Then later we shall continue to know how to use the controllers. Tunaenda tu most pole pole. We see how we implement, how we use the controllers, how we use the model to create, to fetch data, to delete data, to query data from the DB, to insert data, all those things. So now I want us to go to another level. Tunataka sasa tutengeneze. So we have our Laravel. Oh, sorry. I think I forgot something. Sijawaonyesha venye you can run your application, your Laravel application kwa browser. So remember, this is our Laravel, this is the name of our project, Laravel lesson. We created a project inside here. So lazima ukue kwa hii path. Make sure you are in this path. So if you are not in this path, nothing will work. So that's the first step. So if you want to run our application and see it on our browser, you just say php artisan serve. That's the command. Php artisan serve. You want to see your application kwa browser, then you enter. If you enter, you can see starting Laravel development server. So if you copy this, hapa sasa ndo utaona your Laravel app. So let's go to our browser tuone. If we paste it here, then we say enter. So you see our Laravel app is running, but by default wanakuonyeshanga Laravel documentation, Laravel news, vibrant ecosystem. So these are just tutorials. So this is in Laravel application yenye tumetengeneza. So this is just the default user interface that they are using if you run that application, but hauja add anything, just see this. So now tunataka tujiekee nini. So now we have our Laravel application running. So if you want your Laravel application to keep on running, so lazima kwa kwanza umestart your server. To start your server, you just say php artisan serve. So if I close this that way and I come here and refresh, itakupea error, haita load tena juu umefunga, you have not started the server ya Laravel. So now I want us to do a simple thing. I want us to create a basic login. So to create ka stuff kenye mtu anaweza kuja a register, just a normal application, you come just register. After you do your registration, you can be able to log in. So let's see that. So I hope up to there kila mtu ako poa, but I know you need time a bit to just consume what I've just shared. So now I want us to do just a basic login. So I want to show you how you can create a login. You can register and create a login using Laravel. So let's go. Everything tumeifanyia hapa kwa command. So twende hapa. So if you want to create a login register application, you need to install Laravel UI package. You need to install Laravel UI package. Inaitwa Laravel, sorry, just called Laravel UI package. So UI, I know kama ni developer, you know, by now you know UI ni user interface, obvious. So you need to have that. Also, we also need to generate something called scarf. Tango scarf, don't know the spelling fully. Either tunaweza generate ya bootstrap ama tunaweza generate ya React, tunaweza generate ya Vue, etc. Then the next step, we need also to install the npm dependency. So I know sijui kama kuna mtu anajua npm. Npm ina stand for node package manager. So that is npm. Then after that, we need to, I think by that tutakuwa almost finished. So before I continue, kuna mtu akona swali kwanza? Is there anybody with a question, a comment? A question, a comment? Yes, maybe unaweza niambia you're moving too fast. You're not hearing you well. You need to improve on this. It's just an open. So it's just an open. The way it's just an open. Oh my god, I think I shared it here. I shared it here, my friend. I shared it here. Mtu mwingine ampestia hapa. Kindly mtu mwingine ampestia hapa. I need to know whether you are following. That it is just composer create project Laravel, the name of the project. So please, I know if you are following, just paste that command here. Mtu mmoja paste. This is just an interactive session. Usiogope ati nitapaste mbaya. I'm here. I just guide you. That's how you learn. Okay, so now let's start. Tobias, unikumbushe kama hawata paste nitakuwekea. So now let's clear our terminal first. Then now we want to create a basic login register. So we need to install the Laravel UI package. So this is just an official package for making an auth scaffolding. So for you to install that package, you run this command composer. You run this command. Yes. You run this command composer install. Oh, sorry. Not composer install. It is just composer require. You're not installing composer. Composer require Laravel /UI. This is the command for installing the UI package. Let me paste this command here. Start you guys. Susan Wang, thank you. I think yeah, composer create project, the one for Susan Wang. Yeah, that's the correct one. Yeah, so I think you can see it. Hiyo yenye Susan ametuma composer create project Laravel, you know the project. Now to install, now this one is for installing the UI. So let me run that command, install our UI. Then we put a composer require Laravel /UI. So now we are installing the UI package. So let it run. So for you to do all this, you need to be connected to internet connection. So composer require Laravel UI. So right now, this is the now what we are doing, we want to create a register login simple application for where you can register a user, then allow that user to log in using the correct password. If password zako haziko poa, the system will tell you that is wrong password. When it will just, we shall just see it. So this is now what we are doing, is just creating a simple register login application. This is the first step. So I'm just repeating it again and again. Maybe kuna mtu amepotea hajui nini tunafanya. That's what we are doing. So we first of all need to install the Laravel UI package. Then we generate the auth scaffolding. Then we do something with the node package manager. Then tutaenda tutarudi tu tuende kwa browser, you just see the magic. So let's wait. So be patient. But as it is installing, maybe if you have any question, just paste your question here. If you have any question, kindly you can paste your question. As we are just installing the Laravel UI package, so imemaliza. So now we have just installed the Laravel UI package. The next step, we want to generate an auth scaffolding. So what we shall do, tuta we shall scaffold our auth with Bootstrap. Hatutatumia Vue ama React. So I just want to move the simpler way, then tukiendelea hivyo just be using Vue, React. So we shall do PHP artisan. For this we are generating the auth scaffolding PHP artisan UI. So if you're using Vue, unaweza sema Vue dash auth. But now if you're using React, utakuja tu hapo uandike React. But now we want to use Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is just is it a CSS? A CSS like is it a CSS framework or a library, something like that. So generate the auth scaffolding. So now you can see hii inakupeleka to just step by step. Even if you can just read, you can see. So imesema Bootstrap scaffolding installed successfully. So then inakwambia please run npm install and npm run dev. So we can run now the npm install to install the node package manager dependency. Then we move on to npm run dev to compile the asset. So we go to npm. This is node package manager install. Just the way ametuambia hapo, just do that npm install. npm warning depreciated proper, you can find the new proper version too. Okay, that's it. This is just the introduction. So I'm just counter checking whether kuna mtu akona maswali. So let's wait as we are just installing the node package, node npm dependency, node package manager. So I hope I'm clear to everybody. Yani niko audible, mnaweza nisikia. So if you there's one thing that I like most, criticizing. You don't tell me that the presentation was good, you did this was good. No, I'm not. I don't focus on that. I like the other side of you for me to improve next time. So you need to criticize me. I'll do this. Niambie huko naongea, huko nasikika, but tell me as early as now. Just text hapo, hakuna mtu atakupiga. Just text there, say that you are not clear, so that I can try to just increase my voice. So it's just an open session. Mtu ananiambia niandike hiyo ya bootstrap. Just copy paste it here. Here scaffolding. So that's the one for scaffolding. It's there. Beneath. So we are waiting for this command to complete executing. Okay, so it just it has completed. Now we go to, so we are following here. I mean, when Tuambia please run npm install and npm run dev. So now we have just done the npm install. Now we go to npm run dev. So npm run dev, npm. So you need to run this command. Hizi command za how to use terminal. Unaweza create folder ukitumia terminal, unaweza create file ukitumia terminal, unaweza na video. It's like you are using Linux. npm run dev. Hii imeleta shida moja. Let's see, first of all, let's wait and see. So I think this one iko na some error. Finish plain, please run mix again. So hapa kuna kitu inatuambia to run so that we can do something. I think iliweza kusolve something. Okay, let me paste there. So let's first of all run that command ili npm run dev run successful. So as the command is running, I'm always open to criticism. So you can see the chatbot kindly criticize me for my presentation so that I can improve. I can just improve next time. So msiniogope, we just interact with you people. Msiniogope, uliza Deno ananisumbuanga hadi nasikia kumuonga ngumi. So I like that guy called Dennis. Because Dennis atakusumbua as he is learning. I like that guy. So msiniogope, just inbox me hapo kwa WhatsApp. Just chat me. Niambie I want a meeting. Kuna place iko dawa. So these services, kuna place ukienda, if you want to, if for example if you want to, kama unataka kulearn Laravel from scratch, uendelee ama Django from scratch, these services are paid for. I'm offering it for free. So mi usiniogope. So if you go to GoToHub wanafunzanga programming. So you just pay 50k ili wakufunze nini, wakufunze Laravel ama Django. I think for sijui ama ni for 4 weeks. But now I'm offering this service for free. So it's up to you. People are paying for these services juu watu wanataka kulearn. I'm offering these services for free. Na kuna mtu maybe ako hapo ni mchezo tu. But anyway, I like teaching and I like sharing my knowledge. So let's go back to our presentation. So it's here. So tumerun hiyo tuone kama ita solve something. Then acha sasa to repeat npm run dev. Tuone sasa kama itaenda successful. So anyway, just inbox me hapo. Unaniuliza swali, inbox me hapo kwa WhatsApp. I have guys who do that. Kama Deno na anazitupanga kuzitupa. So let's wait. So you can see this thing. Unaona hapa this notification. Laravel mix build successful. Si unaona kitambo wakati we just ran the npm run dev command, hatukupata hii message na ilituambia imefail. So tumefix na certain command yenye wametupea hint hapo. So we have just run that command down. The Laravel mix imebuild successful. So do you know what? Now we have built a login registration system kwa Laravel. Iko already na iko running. So if you don't believe me, I want you to see something. If you go to our route, tulikuwa na route moja, if kama unaweza kumbuka vizuri, wakati tuliingia kwa folder ya resources, so it's the time when we came here resources, nikwambia our routes tunaziwekanga hapa. Remember we had only this route, kama unaweza kumbuka vizuri, we had only that route. So in this process already tumecreate a view. So remember kwa views folder tulikuwa na view moja ilikuwa inaitwa welcome.blade.php, then tukaad yetu ya client, but now I guess we have another one. Let us check. So you see, this is the view folder. Remember ilikuwa na welcome na tuka create ya client, but now imekutucreatea home, ika create folder inaitwa layouts. Under layout tuko na hiyo under out. Sasa hapa ndo tuko na hizo, tuko na hii register. Sasa hii ni kama HTML, so if you paste hii just a normal HTML, hii ukienda you paste itakupea form ya login hii exactly. Si unaona hii input type password nini, hii ingine password confirm, this is just a registration form, then ime create pia a login form. So login form acha nifunge hapo. So login form iko na, so tukienda hapo tutaona nini? Tutaona kuna stuff ya, kuna field ya kulogin, hii niko hapa. Kuna another field ya kuweka password. So now we have our login already running. So route zinatumikanga hivi. So right now we have our register and login. So we need a user interface. User interface is a view. The view for login iko hapa. Hii ndio view ya login.blade. The view for register form, that HTML, we have it here. It is this one. The route iko hapa. Kuna hii route yenye imeongezewa hapa. Then the model yenye tutakuwa tunatumia kuconnect kwa users table, tunaangalia kama huyo user ana exist. It is this one. It was already provided. We go to http, we go to our controller folder. We need something to handle our request. So tukikuja hapa tumeona imetengeneza another folder. So it's not a must that all these are controllers. You can come here, create another folder. Inside that folder you create a controller. So inside here ndo sasa tuko na the other controller. You see kuna controller ya confirm password, ya forget password, ya login, ya kuregister, ya kureset password, verification controller. All these zimejitengeneza. So now we are going to paste our URL. This one, where is it? URL, that is the route. So this is the route. Sorry. It's like, sorry. Let me first of all try something. We see whether it's working. First of all, if you want to run your application, you must have php artisan serve. Bila hii in your browser, you won't see anything. Then we need to come back to our browser. Refresh. If we refresh, we want to hit our login. So URL ya login. You see, that's the URL for login. So sahii tumetengeneza login. So you want to register in our application, unakuja hapa, you can say register. So tutaregister one user. Huyu user tutamuita Susan, na tunamuita Susan. Anyway, sorry for using your name. Then password tumwekea one. First of all, tuweke wrong password. First password tuweke 1 2 3 4. Then second password tuweke 1 2. We try to register. Oh, sorry. So this email gmail.com. If you try to register here, itakwambia password must be at least. So hapa kuna some password rules zimepasiwa. So that's the first thing. So lazima ikuwe characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then so we want to put another wrong password inside here, so lazima zimatch ili iende. So 1, 2, 3. So if I enter itakata, namwambia the password confirmation does not match. So that means that this password and this password does not match. So let's make it match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now imeregister a user na imemlogin na imemwita Susan. Hii ni username yake Susan. So first of all, let's go to our database. Tukienda kwa database yetu, if we go to our database, we go to users table, we need to see that user. Anaitwa Susan. So this is the user. Anaitwa Susan, email or any, then password ni hiyo, so it is just encrypted. Then created that and updated that, hizo zinaji-updating automatic. So let's log this user out. If you log this user out, then you try to log in again here. So acha kwanza nitoe hii yenye nakumbuka. Maybe I try to put some, put this email, then so remember, ili uweze ku log in, the way login works, register will add somebody to to the DB. So login, it is just checking whether the records that you are inputting in your form, whether they are matching with something that is in the DB. Right now in our database, in our users table, we have only one user, that is Susan. Then so right now tumeweka user mwenye haexist, then we try to put password, to put something, so itakwambia the credential does not match our records because we have no such user, but let's input a user. Sasa hii unaona imesema that record does not exist, so haijakwambia whether umeweka wrong credential, whether umeweka wrong credential. If you put hii ingine ya waeni, then we put wrong password, since that record exists itakwambia something to do with wrong credential. No, this credential do not match our records. I think the default one inaangalia both password na email. So if I just input the correct one, itamwallow a login. Na unaona hapa imekwambia huyu ni Susan, huyu ni user Susan, akitaka ku log out ana log out. So this is the view. Hii yenye tunaona ni view. So the login view, nilimwambia the login view it is under views, then you come under login. So if I change something here, maybe I change something like this. Also, let me try to find something that I can change. But for you to, I just want to prove whether this. So nimepaste another field. So in field ingine nimeongezea tu, nime copy paste the same thing. So if I come refresh here, utaona iko na fields tatu. Let me refresh here. Oh my god, which one is that thing to me? Let me check again. Stick in save. So let me check again. What's happening? Let me try to delete this one. Nione kama ita reflect. But that's the view. If you need to do any customization, unastahili ukuje hapa unafanya customization ya imepotea. So I wanted to add another one. I think I need to take this div yote. So I want to add another field. Add it that way. And I call it name. Maybe I can say name. So this is just proving that this is the view that we are using. You can customize it anyway that you want. You see, to add here name. So basically, But Laravel, that's introduction to Laravel. That's how you can do a simple login register. That's the way you can connect to the DB. All those things. I think we have covered them unless na mtu anajuaje if ni login na ni registration now in commands, kindly give us the hint. Dena, hebu unmute your mic. Sijakupata poa. Dennis. Dennis. Okay, hebu rudia swali yako poa. Mm. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, you're not clear. I think you are lost in unakwama. Unapotea. Oh, sorry, Deno, you can repeat your question. I think ulikuwa unakwama, net yako iko na shida mahali. Just try it. Mhm. Mhm. Deno umeunmute. Cynthia, nilikuwa nimeona umeunmute mic yako. If you're asking a question, maybe you can ask. It's just time to ask question. I think hatutapita hapo. Nauliza if sahi uko na library system, how will you ask it? Oh my god. How will you ask it? Hey, how will you do it? Library system. Oh my god. Do what? How will you handle it? When utatengeneza hiyo system. There's some question. You have the answer, but you don't know what to say because if you want to do a library system, you need first of all to have the user requirement. Before you start your project, you need to have the requirements, all the requirements, what you want your project to do. So now before that, now after you have all the requirements, now that's when you can start implementing your project. But now kwa Git we have now the login and registration. Now if uko na system ingine, how now to do it? So venye nimetengeneza hivi, this is just the first step for any application, lazima ukuwe na login. So hii application unaweza tengeneza any system that you want. From here now you can proceed after kulogin. Sasa onyeshana vitu zako, kama ni library management, onyeshana the various department and the various list of items that are there after you login. Sijui kama nimeanswer your question. It's like your question is not that clear. So that's the end of our presentation. Uh, unless you have any question. So questions sasa ndo nataka zikuja kukuja. Hello? Okay. Okay. What you need to do is just do what is called customization. You need to customize that thing. So instead now kwa hii user interface kuonyeshana hii email, for you to log in, first of all ukiregister you must capture the phone number. So when registering, remember to add here another field. We add, uende kwa hiyo register form, hiyo register view, you add that phone number here. Then after that you need to go to your users table. Iko wapi users table? Users migration. So come here kwa users migration, uko na database. Oh my god. Sorry for that. I think so. I hope now mnaweza iona. So right now sitaonyesha part ya controller because lazima uingie hadi kwa controller, you do some customization. So I will not show you that because we have not covered anything to do with controller, and just an introduction. So what you need to do, you must come, ukuje, itabidi kwanza ukuje hapa kwa user stable migration. So hapa ukiangalia we don't have the phone number, so we need to add another field ya phone number. Ukuje hapo useme ni phone number, for example. So add hapo tuseme ni phone number. Adding that phone number, remember we need to capture that phone number while tuna register user. Remember ukienda kulogin inaangalia ka details zenye register nazo. So we need to add kwa this user interface, this register, we need to add another field for phone number. So just need to go to the view, the register view. Register view iko under views. Acha tufunge hiyo iko under views. So iko under views, then out register. So you need to come here and add another field. For example, unaweza add after image. So it's just first illustration. So tuandike sasa hii ni tuseme hii ni phone number. So kuandike phone number huku ndani, huku name phone number. Then after ku refresh hapa utaona hiyo ni kuna phone number. So tumeadd hapa phone number. So now you need to go and do some customization to your controller. Tukienda huko kwa controller, http, go to register controller. Itabidi ukuja hadi hapa, there is a place where we are creating this data. You see hapa hivi what tuna create the name, the person na the image. So you need to come here also, you add the phone number, kuandika hapa phone number. Then after that run a fresh migration ili uupdate table yako. Then after that ukienda sasa kwa login tena hapa ukilogin, you need to customize something what we are checking for tukilogin. Okay, so that's basically what you need to do. So that's a good question, but saa hii nikikuexplainia you can unaweza lost, but after umeinteract na hizi vitu sasa nitawaonyesha vizuri, basically kuonyesha. So I hope that question is answered. Undo here. So kuna mtu anauliza how do you involve something inside the login system? Now assume then you want to have a payment system, don't need all the password and Tobias patch. Yes, you can as uliza hii swali tena. I think it's good if you can just talk. Tobias, you can unmute your mic and talk and ask a question. How do you, because I think I'm not understanding, how do you involve something inside the login system? Now assume then you want to have a payment system, don't need all the password and all the other things. So it's like unamaanisha kama utaki hiyo login. If you don't want that login and register, you don't build it. So sorry for the way nimeanza hiyo question yet. Unless maybe you can clarify your question. Kindly, you can clarify your question. You can just unmute your mic, Tobias, and muonge. Kuna watu hapa just Cynthia, you can ask a question. I think you have unmuted your mic. Yeah. Sorry, hebu rudia tena. Part ya bootstrap imefanya nini? Bootstrap is just a library na inatumikanga tu just kutengeneza user interface. So hizi div unaona huku kwa views, hizi divs form group row, hizi call md, Hizi ni za bootstrap. It's just like an inbuilt CSS. Instead ya kushinda ukiandika CSS ya hii form, we just use bootstrap, a library. Acha acha. Acha leo ni scroll huku sasa nikiitanga wapi. Cindy ameongea, Deno ameongea, Margaret Mungi hajaongea. Magi, Magi unmute your mic. Mary. So anyway, maybe you can comment on how the presentation was. And then you can, if there's no any other question, we can call it a day. Watu waende wakawatch ball ya, you can just